Hey there, welcome to the Luz Lumière channel. Welcome to your twin flame reading. Haven't done one of these in a really long time. A viewer requested it and I wanted to do it. So here is this pile and here is this pile. We'll call this pile 1, we'll call this pile 2. And these are an assortment of potions. Yeah, an assortment of potion bottles. Does this one call to you for your message? Does this one call to you for your message? If both do, that's fine. If none of them do, but you still clicked on this video, I would say take a break, take a hot second, take an hour, take a day, and maybe come back to this, and that's when one of these messages might ring more true to the state with which you're able to resonate with it, or whatever the case may be. Okay, so to all my twin flames, my people and soul connections that they're feeling, we're going to find out what's the connection right now like, the truth of that. We're going to look at why is it like this, like if that's necessary, what's happening next, and some guidance to come into union. Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? The twin flame, whatever union looks like for the highest good. So that's what we're going to be looking at into. If this is interesting to you, please go ahead and keep watching, pick a pile, and I will see you in your pile. See you. Hey there, pile 2. You have this really cool, I should have probably shown these in the intro, this really cool assortment of potion bottles. You can get them at Titan's Dawn on Etsy. I think it's called Titan's Dawn or Dungeon Menagerie. I don't know. But if you'd like to know where you can purchase your own set of potion bottles, let me know and I'll leave you the link in your comment. But let's get into what this is about. I want to go into what your connection is. For anybody who's rushing for this information, this feels really slow, actually. This feels like a slow energy, and I'm not talking about your connection. I'm just talking like I'm really chilled out right now. I'm really just zenned out, kind of chill, kind of calm. So I'm gonna bring that energy into this reading. I mean, I can't not. In that, I am gonna take my time shuffling. I'm gonna shuffle on camera. If I decide not to, then okay, but yeah. What is going on, Spirit, in this twin flame soul connection right now? What's going on in this connection? Okay. Whoop. What's going on with my people in this connection? I think one more. If we can get one more. Thank you. And what's going on with the feminine energy? And what's going on with the masculine energy? The bottom of the deck, we have 6 of Wands. And that's really interesting. I think we will keep that out. And at the top of the deck, yeah, it's these two. The 9 of Cups in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So what's going on between this connection, this twin flame connection that I'm tuning into? The cards that have come out is the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hanged Man in reverse. I think I'm going to look at what's happening with the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine later. But what I'm getting here is some kind of movement. It's weird, actually. It's a weird kind of movement. The Hanged Man in reverse, it's I don't know, it feels like there's movement in this connection, but it's nefarious movement. Unfortunately, I feel like this connection feels stagnant. This connection feels stagnant. It's not moving, and it's one of those things where when you get sick of yourself, when you get sick of life, when you get sick of waiting, when you get sick of being stuck, when you get sick of being sick, when you get sick of being sick and tired, like, and let's say, for instance, a true patient in the hospital who has been given, hey, it's going to take 6 months to recovery. Okay, it's going to take 6 months to get you in a position to where you need to be. And 2 months in, the person is sick and tired of waiting. But that's the diagnosis, right? So this person sort of then starts to push. They start to push. They start to do things that end up kind of being detrimental. So there's a movement here, but it almost feels like movement that isn't beneficial. Movement that is, I don't want to say ego driven, movement that's uncomfortable driven, like movement that's like, I want action, I want things to happen now. I am going to take destiny into my hands. I'm going to take what has been preordained into my hands. I'm going to take it and I'm going to do things. And that feels like it's coming off a bit destructive. But it's coming from a place where, so this is somebody who then starts, like, rather than waiting for their body part or whatever to recover, they start forcing it. And it almost adds, it's not recovered yet. Like, it's not ready for you to, if it's a leg, it's not ready for you to walk on with, like, for that long, or to put that much pressure on it. But you're like, no, it'll be fine. And it not you, but the energy of that. So this is an energy of where the connection is. This connection is uncomfortable. This connection feels stagnant, but it also wants to move, and it's moving in its stagnancy, but it just feels like that level of movement is not the most conducive at this time. That's the feeling I'm getting. We're gonna go into it some more, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. It's very, I don't want to say, I hate when people like vilify the ego. Like, ego is part of us. It is what it is. But it is very ego driven. It's very, this is what I want. I'm going to do this now. And that's okay when it's time for that energy, but it's not time for that energy is what I'm getting. It's not time for that energy. But that's what this energy sort of is. It's this, I want to move, I want to do, I'm going, I am. And I don't know. In some cases, this feels detrimental, but I can see that in some cases, like, it wouldn't be. It's almost, it's like, let's say someone who decides that they're not going to wait for someone to contact them anymore. They're just going to say it's done, and they're going to start dating. They're going to open themselves up to dating. This is kind of that energy of, okay, well, it's time to get back on the horse, right? And I don't think that in and of itself is wrong. It's just that there's some things that you're not fully ready. Like, in that example, whomever that person is, like, that person wants action, but they're not ready for that kind, like, that action. This is what I feel. It's just, I don't know why it comes off as like detrimental, and it could be detrimental light. I don't know. And this could be also just sort of like spying energy. This could be an energy where people are, energy where it's checking up on itself, like a watched pot never boils. But it's almost like, maybe if I keep doing this, like, maybe something will happen. Maybe things will be expedited, but like, it won't. And that's something that you sort of need to, not you, but the energy needs to surrender, that this is how it feels. This is how you both feel, or this is what the energy feels like right now. The divine feminine is in the magician. She's in this manifesting mode, and it's a wonder that she came up here on this side, where the Knight of Wands is baby magician to me. The Knight of Wands is fuck life, I'm gonna make it my bitch, right? Like, I'm going to ride this horse, I'm gonna ride the life horse, like, I'm gonna dominate this world, I'm gonna create. And that's why I don't like that I'm saying detrimental, because it's good to want to move through something, but it's almost like, again, that patient that isn't like, no, just do something else in a different area to occupy your mind during the time that the time needs to be. And that's really hard to deliver. It's just so interesting that the Six of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, and I did say 6 months. So perhaps for some of you, there's something there in 6. And when I look at my potions here, there are 6 of them in this cluster, while there's one away. So that could be something of relevance to you, where there is a time period, and that time period is hard to swallow as a human, but there's something about it where it's like, don't watch this pot, do something else. But anyway, that's where the connection is at, or where it's been at, or whatever, right? This sort of like, but I want to like fast forward this. And then for the divine masculine, we have a 7 of Swords in reverse. Okay, very interesting there. And he's on the side of this Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Hanged Man in reverse. This feels like avoidance. Oh, the divine masculine stays getting shafted, man, in twin flame readings. And sometimes just because you might personally identify as a female or a feminine energy, you might actually be a divine masculine. Like, your energy might be that of a divine masculine. Obviously, in like a homosexual relationship, that's something that's more palpable, because this idea of, oh, just because you're a girl or just because you're a guy, it's that. But I would invite, if you're in a heterosexual relationship or whatever, to sort of see like, yeah, it's funny because the magician is a masculine. It's a doing energy. It's a creation. Whereas the 7 of Swords is quite a passive energy in this avoidance. So divine masculine isn't as feminine in a way, or at least some kind of feminine. I don't want to say dilapidated feminine and dilapidated masculine, because I'm not really picking that up too much enough to say it, but I digress. The divine masculine right now, where he is at, where that energy is at, this masculine energy is in a passive state. It's in a too careful state. I think like hiding. There's a sense of hiding. There's a sense of like, no one must know. But it feels like, even from people in their life, like, what? So I don't know if you know this person intimately and that you know their life, or whatever, but let's get into some clarifications here. Can you define where the connection is at a bit more, please? Yeah. In Ace of Wands in reverse, we've talked about that. This wanting to do, this feeling of stuff, but not really being able to, like move or do. It's stuck energy. And we have a 10 of Wands, even more stuck energy. The 10 of Wands sucks, right? Like, notoriously, the 10 of Wands sucks. But the 10 of Wands sometimes, to me, is a lot of passion. It's a lot of passion. Like, the 10 of Wands notoriously sucks. Okay, it's like, it notoriously sucks. But for me, I mean, then I have Cups at the bottom of the deck this time around. For me, the 10 of Wands here is this lack of movement. Sometimes the 10 of Wands isn't the worst thing in the world. There was a job I was going for once upon a time, and I asked Spirit, I said, yo, Spirit, what can I expect from this? And it was Ten of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. And to me, the Ace of Pentacles means so much. When I see the Ace of Pentacles, it means something. And it surely gave me that. And it was a beautiful ace. For that to be an ace, oh my God. But the Ten of Wands scared me. The Ten of Wands is hard on your body. The Ten of Wands is hard on your world. But it's also like so much passion for something that you may not be able to handle. So when I see this in reverse, I don't know. I actually kind of get the message of it in the upright. I get this message from it of being like, this connection has so much, but the connection itself is ill-equipped to handle it. It's ill-equipped to handle the energy that it itself has. And so it just doesn't. It can't. With the Ten of Wands being in the reverse here. I really am not mad at the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands can be, that's life. That really is life. It's like, if I have this kid, what's my life going to be like? And you have the Ten of Wands, it's like, yeah, it's going to be something that you work hard for, something that you want, but it's also going to have its difficult moments. I got the Ten of Wands for a certain relationship of mine. I said, what is the outcome of this? And sure enough, like, it's the Ten of Wands. It's a lot of labor. It's labor intensive on my body, on my mind, and, you know, on the body, on the mind as I relate to it. But it's also a labor of like love. Like, there's an affection in the Ten of Wands. I know, it's weird. So in this, with it being in the reverse, there's a frustration. Is this even worth it? Is this even something that should continue? And taking a break, and seems like I don't want to say a needed break, but I did ask for what the truth is. So it could be a needed break, but an annoying break. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this attraction between the two of you in this connection has been dilapidated. It's now been tainted. It's to the point where in this connection, it kind of feels like where you're at now or where you've been. This connection feels like it's reached the point where having feelings for someone doesn't feel good anymore. You know, it's like they're there, but those feelings now have like ivy and thorns and other stuff associated with them, and it just doesn't feel as good anymore. But it's still being there. That passion still sort of being there. Those feelings still being there. Tell me more about why things are like that. Tell me about why things are like this. Why is this like this? Okay. Five of Wands in reverse. So no communications, miscommunications. It's giving communication to me. The King of Cups. Oh, okay. So, you know, it could be this masculine energy here. The feminine energy, anyway. It could be this masculine energy, but I would say the feminine energy kind of may have pulled back from this dynamic. But why things are like this is this masculine energy, this King of Cups. But let me dial it back. Why are things like this? The Five of Wands in reverse and the King of Cups. The Five of Wands in reverse to me is it's giving me a story of dilapidated communication. This is misunderstandings. This is things left unsaid that fester. This is things that, okay, I'm not going to say this because I don't want XYZ. Like, it's things unsaid, and it's also things believed to me. It feels like an energy where I think something, but I don't say it, but I believe it as the truth. And so it's fact. Like, it's belief. It's just communication that's not happening. Oh, I think you're doing this, or I think this, and I think this, and I believe this about us, and I don't believe this about us, and etc., etc. And taking one's own thoughts or misinterpretations of another's to mean something else. It's just a lot of like things that have not been communicated well or even communicated at all, causing something to implode in a way that, with the Five of Wands, it could have been worked through, but also not really. I feel like it could have just imploded better. I don't know how to explain that. It's almost like, not everybody is, this is just an example. Not everybody is compatible, right? People come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different places of being, like whatever. And sometimes you do have to argue. Like you do have to step into the ring, ding, 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 fight. Because at least you get to express yourself, they get to express yourself, you get to hear each other's expressions of self, and then you get to counter those. You have an argument, basically. Okay, and an argument is a form of negotiation in this sense. But here, it almost looks like people were too emotionally sensitive and weren't able to be human and have the arguments. It's just very interesting with this King of Cups here. This level of emotion that was put forward, this level of like, I don't know, too much eloquence perhaps was an issue. Like instead of just sort of wilding out, there was too much emotional restraint. And too much, like, this is things like this because there was too much control. Too much control, too much balance. I don't know. It seems like, yeah, like an argument needed to happen or some things needed to be said that just weren't said. What's the feminine's role in this? What's the masculine's role in this? The feminine's role in this is the Hierophant. And the masculine's role in this is the King of Wands in reverse. The feminine's role in this was in being dogmatic, in believing in the way a structure is supposed to be, in believing in the dogma of like maybe of like labels, of this is how it's supposed to be, of this is how it's been preordained, this is how it's always been, in this connection. So this is saying, oh, but like, this is my twin flame, you are my twin flame, you and I are supposed to be together, and so I'm not going to argue. Like, I'm not going to ruffle any feathers, perhaps. Just sort of letting, what the fuck? Letting like the divine lead, or letting this connection lead, or what the connection means lead, when like you're human still. I don't know, it just feels like being very dogmatic, being being a believer in the structures, and that I'm not saying it's really a bad thing necessarily, but it's what helped make things like this. Let me clarify that. It just feels, yeah, the Ten of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I think the feminine acted in a way that the feminine did not want to, but believed that's how they needed to act. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you gotta pop off. Sometimes you gotta sometimes you gotta be human. Like I was talking about in the beginning about ego. Sometimes you gotta let your ego have it. Sometimes you gotta let your ego take stage and yeah, weird. Okay? Sometimes you gotta let that part of you out and be human. And show yourself in that moment. And you don't have to be crazy. I don't know. But sometimes, there's this thing going around, the dark feminine. Sometimes you gotta let that dark feminine come out. Because being dogmatic and being, oh, this is how it should be, and this is how I should be, and this is should. It's like, but on the inside, you're not being fed. You're hungry. You're going unnoticed. You're not noticing yourself. And that is unattractive. It polarizes in the worst way. On the masculine side, what they contributed to this is this King of Wands in reverse. Oh boy, all my Wands people are in reverse except the Knight. You both in this connection want that spark back, but there's so much surrounding that. It no longer looks as appealing as it once did. So for the masculine with this King of Wands in reverse, it feels like they're focusing on hiding, avoiding. They too didn't do what could have been done. They too didn't step into the actions that they may have been guided to take. They didn't do something. They avoided something and continue to avoid it, quite frankly. Someone being controlling, pushy, well, maybe a little bit of it malicious. Clarify this King of Wands. A taker. Someone just taking. The King of Wands is a doer. They give. They don't just take. They give and do. And we have the Five of Pentacles. Very interesting. This feels like somebody who, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. This feels like somebody who, the Divine Masculine, why this is happening from their angle, is I think they were going through something else, weren't they? They must have been healing or recovering from something else. And we're acting from this alone place. This is someone who wanted to be fed. This is someone who wanted to be given to. After we go through like really bad relationship stuff, sometimes we do get into this selfish era, or this like, well, I'm gonna be the exact opposite of who I was before, and yet we don't we need time to calibrate that who we were before wasn't all that bad. It's just too much of any one thing is not great. So we need to balance out being a giver and being a taker. We need to be able to receive from our partners as well as give. And I feel like this masculine was coming in with that energy of, I want to take because I don't feel like I've been given to enough. And the feminine took the brunt of that. Have I been calling you the feminine? I'm sorry. You could be the masculine. You just wanted to take a little bit to heal through the taking of what someone else has to give, and they were all more than willing to give it. What's happening next? Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting all that. Cups in reverse. The Nine of Wands in reverse. The Seven of Swords. The Three of Swords. Oh, the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. Ha, ha, ha. So we have Wands again, dominating the reading. The King of Wands is in the upright. The Nine of Wands is in the reverse. The Seven of Swords is in the upright. This is a lot of the energies that showed up on the, in fact, yeah, a lot of the energies that showed up on the masculine side are here, and this one showed up a little bit more on the feminine side. Here's what I'm seeing. What's happening next between you two in this connection is someone's getting naked. Okay? Someone's getting real naked. They're tired of fighting. Someone's having a breakdown. Okay? What's happening next between the two of you is a breakdown. So that pushing that may have been happening before or now, there's, I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a level of consequence to that. Okay? This is, let's say you are pushing yourself, someone, I'm going to say you, just as an example for you, like, get what I'm trying to say. This is someone who's pushing themselves to keep pushing. The doctor said it's going to take 6 months, stay off your leg, do the minimal tasks, do your stretching, do the stuff that you need to do, but don't go beyond this. We'll give you a month-by-month assessment or whatever. But you go, I know better. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to make this stronger, right? You avoid the doctor's lesson and you manifest what you want to manifest. What happens is, as you're taking that walk and pushing yourself past the limits that you should, you have a moment. And I don't think it's going to be, I think you just have a moment where you feel the pain in that wounded area. And you really have a sort of like come to Jesus moment where you're like, I can't keep doing this. And it sucks. Like, you really have to sort of, you get on your knees and go like, okay, fine. Like, I have to do what I need to do within myself to, it's a moment where you realize and wake up to like, I can't keep doing what I've been doing. Something has to be different, and I don't know what that is yet, so I'm just going to do what they've told me to do, which is wait, which is do the things that they've outlined for me to do. And it's miserable. It sucks. But there's a moment here, what's next between the two of you is this moment where you stop fighting. You stop fighting whatever it is you've been fighting, and you start looking at your part, the part that you both played, the parts that you've both played. And that's something that does take time. It takes ample time and it's not a week. Maybe for some of you it maybe, if you're in that kind of relationship, sometimes it takes a week. For others it takes months to go through the cycles that a human psyche needs to go to see where they could have been better, where they messed up to themselves or to this other person, where they can then become a Queen of Wands in the upright and a King of Wands in the upright, where they're no longer these beautiful beings that are covered in thorns. With this Three of Swords, this pain brings a level of healing. And it's a level of healing that needs, well, I don't know if it needs to happen, but it's a level of healing that's definitely worth going through in order to pass the time and do the things that need to be done to the self. And then we have the Knight of Wands. And then we have the King of Wands. So what I see here is I'm really happy the Knight of Wands is back again, because now this is no longer a detrimental Knight of Wands. Now this is no longer the detrimental Knight of Wands. I was wondering, I was like, I don't want to read the Knight of Wands as detrimental, but in that energy it was. In this energy, where you've had your come to Jesus moment, where you've had your I'm on my knees surrender, both of you, in whatever way that happens. Now you're doing the things that are going to help pass the time to the next phase. And this King of Wands is good. This is something you're both doing. This King of Wands is quite reminiscent of that, the masculine. This is the feminine, this is the masculine, right? The feminine, and you're both sharing this energy. Like, you're both sharing these energies. They oscillate, I think. The feminine will be creating more. The feminine is going to be looking at things that pleases that energy as it heals and does what it needs to do to overcome the time that needs to pass, to feed their self, to go on passionate journeys, to things that they enjoy and love and take so much pleasure in. The masculine is going to step up into themselves. They're going to get back in touch with the healing that they needed, like the healing that wasn't had before from whatever they brought to this connection. To start stepping into that, because now they're really looking at themselves and going, man, everybody in this situation is looking at themselves and going, something has to give. Something has to give. So let's get some advice. I'm going to get advice for the feminine, and I'm going to get advice for the masculine. Thank you. Eesh. Okay, I guess we'll take them. Yeah, I love this, because I actually thought when I saw the Five of Pentacles for the masculine on the other side, it was going to be the Three of Pentacles, because it was just like working together and not just like taking, giving, that type of dynamic. But no, 'twas the Five. Let's talk about the feminine real quick. The feminine's advice is the King of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. And I believe the Page of Pentacles came up in the first shuffle of the top two cards. And that's awesome. So this King of Wands, definitely listen to that as well if you are identified as the feminine, to step into the role of being able to do and receive. The King of Wands is not an equal doer, equal receiver, but the King of Wands knows when to be served. The King of Wands know when to serve. Okay, this is my guy out there in the field doing the things that need to be done, and it's a symbiotic. Like, dude is good at that. Yeah, so that's what's for the queen to do, for the feminine to do, and this page as well. The feminine's task is to manifest. It's just manifesting the feminine is being called to step into a masculine type of a vibe of energy, okay? That feminine energy, if you're a feminine, you're being called to create. You're being called to do in your world. You're being called to imagine. You're being called to manifest with this King of Wands here. You're being called to create what you want. We have the Page of Pentacles holding my favorite, the Ace of Pentacles. Where are you going to invest this? What else can you do as you grow your journey to be stable? You are even the Queen of Wands. I was reluctant to say that that's the feminine. It is, but this is all masculine energy, you know? Knight, Page, King. The feminine energy is called to step into this creation, to create the life that the feminine wants, that a masculine would want to come to and join as one, that the feminine would protect and fight for, and not just be dogmatic about it, right? To actually fight for what they want and fight for themselves, to build that masculine, no, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Actually, no, I'm going to say this type vibe in their energy, and not just let dogma lead, but have that sense of self that is missing from them, and maybe this connection as well. If you're identifying as the masculine energy, this masculine energy, Ace of Wands in reverse, yeah, a Ten of Cups in reverse, yeah, and the Three of Pentacles. The masculine is not happy. Okay, the masculine energy is not happy. We know this. The masculine energy is not happy, and their guidance here is to take that and know that they're not happy because it's been dilapidated. You cannot have a King of Wands energy who is a giver become and enter into a taker energy. That just doesn't work for the King of Wands. It just doesn't. What works for the King of Wands is having that balance. Not equal, but that balance, right? An exchange, a barter. You can't just take, baby. That's not gonna work. So for the masculine energies, there's an unhappiness and an inaction and that avoidance that we were talking about because there's no equal reciprocity. There's no equal reciprocity. There's no working together. And by equal, it's not 50%. Three of Pentacles is not 50%, but that's the card of working together, of teamwork. Everybody brings what they bring to the table. And if you're bringing 70 and someone's bringing 30, that 30 is like the water that's added. No, that 30 is the cement. And that 70 is the water that's added to the cement. You don't put equal parts cement and water. There's a ratio for those. And that is what this is. Like the masculine energy, what their advice is to bring back that essence of like ratio, of balance and ratio. Not balance in 50-50, you do, I do, you do, I do. No. Sometimes it's going to be you do, and sometimes it's going to be you receive. But it's not going to be just one-sided for the entire time. Like there's something that people are going to do, and there's some things that you're going to receive, and there's other things that you're going to do as the masculine. And it's finding that balance, that teamwork where do I fit? What am I okay giving 80 and what am I okay receiving 80 at? Like what is that for me? Because that's where I'm going to be able to act in my power. And really, it's sort of a similar message for the both of you, just said in different ways. Here it's about sort of dogma and leading and creating the sort of life that one wants to live and investing in the things that make and feed themselves, give to themselves and give to their soul and their path and journey. While for the masculine, it's that, but just said differently. For the masculine, it's finding out how to do that within a relationship space. But finding that within themselves, what they have, like that self-inventory of, okay, what am I going to do here? How do I show up and how do I do and how do I receive? So I wish you everything, my friends. I'll see you next time. Keep your light on, good luck. If you enjoyed this or whatever, leave a like on the video. Let me know how this went. This went longer than I really wanted it to. Keep your light on, good luck. Bye. Hey, pile 1. Hey. This is your potions. These are your potions. I got these from Titan's Dawn on Etsy, or I don't know if they're called Dungeon Menagerie now, but if you want potions of your own, you can let me know and I'll find the link, give the link to you. Okay, baby girl, you don't have to be a girl. I just call everybody girl. I literally called my toe girl today. There was an older gentleman crossing the street, and I was like, girl, I need you to hurry up. No, he was going fast, and I was like, baby girl, you can go slower. But I think I've experienced the latter before. It was so awkward. I think he thought I was going to rob him. Girl, I don't. It was just so, he was walking so slow, but I wanted to overtake him, right? But he wouldn't move out of the way, and there was no way for me to overtake him. So he got really aware of me behind him, and I don't want to like overtake someone of an elder sometimes because I don't want to make them feel like bad. Oh, but that just made the situation worse. This guy stops and starts staring at me, and I'm just like, oh, this is so awkward. He thinks I'm like trying to be nefarious with him. Ooh! Baby girl, it was tough. Anyway, I do think that does relate to your reading, actually, trying to like overtake people and trying to just do something that's one way, but the results end up just making it worse, where it's like you should have just done the thing in the beginning and not try to make it better or overcompensate. That's somebody's message in this pile. I sure know that, baby. Spirit, where's the connection? This pile is way more hyped up than the other pile, which is funny and interesting. Do we need one more card? You want to come out? We have the Hermit in reverse. I don't think we need one more card, do we? Okay, so we're looking at where the connection is right now. Okay, I think we do need one more card. Do I? It'll come out if it needs to. Thank you, Spirit. Appreciate ya. Okay, we have the Tower. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. At the top, it's this one. No, it's this one. No, it's this one. We have the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Yeah, that's juggling. God. Two of Pentacles, the Fool. We have the Tower, Four of Swords. Yeah. The King of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Swords in reverse. And the Eight of Swords in reverse. Let's find out where the feminine is at and where the masculine is at. The divine feminine, the divine masculine. Alright. Just give me a second to sit in this Eight of Swords. This Tower is violent. Like, the Tower is usually violent, but this motherfucker's got his head cut. Anyway, wild. Hey, listen. So, what I'm picking up here is... a connection that's been knocked down. Okay. The King of Pentacles has lost his crown. And I'm not entirely sure who the King of Pentacles is in your dynamic, but somebody got cut down, somebody was humbled. Somebody in this connection was humbled. Either some stuff from the past came up for them and they were really humbled by the universe, by God's spirit, in that they maybe had an epiphany and they saw that this connection is a reflection of a part of themselves that has sabotaged or has come from stuff that they have dealt with within themselves, like they have experienced within themselves. And this could be both of you. This is your shared connection, right? We have a King of Pentacles here, but this could be the both of y'all. In that your stability, your foundation, who you all are, this connection at this point where it's at, I don't want to say it has brought you to your knees, but it has humbled you. Okay, for the both of you, I will say this connection has humbled you. Perhaps one of you more than the other, and perhaps the energy oscillates. One moment it's you feeling more humbled. The other it's them feeling more humbled. But this is some shockwaves that are really hard to deal with. Like, this feels uncomfortable. This feels like, you know, when you see your father cry, like, that's some real shit. Like, when your father's, you know what I mean? Like, when you see a man that you know cry, it's like, oh, fuck. Like, some shit's really gone down here. Like, this is very humbling. This is sort of very reverent energy. something here has been released. Something here has been discovered and known and experienced and is being experienced in this connection. And someone is humbled. And I think it's both of you. Let's say that. I'm going to say someone, but I want you to hear both of you. Someone has been humbled by the realizations of this connection. There's so many swords. This feels like it could have been self-epiphanies, for sure. Brought on by external circumstances that sort of made a perfect concoction for the humbleation. Hashtag the humbleation. Leave that in the comments. But really, this feels very, very familiar to me. I am like this energy of this pile came in really like bubbly and just like, oh, but there's a humbling here. I think someone is not, I don't want to say wised up to their ways, but someone has seen how their own behavior has impacted others, and they can't blame that other person for how they reacted. Like, I cannot blame that older gentleman for how he reacted. I was acting sus, and I can see how he thought I was acting sus. I was not, but my stuff on not being able to just fucking walk faster past this dude made this like a situation that didn't need to happen, right? That's like my stuff. Now, that in sort of a greater sense, I want to say, because this is the tower, we have a major here. I mean, all these energies are really big time, especially as I'm experiencing them right now in this moment. It's a thing where you've been humbled. You've looked and you've seen that there's things about yourself that, you know what, contributed to this dynamic and where this connection is at in a way that you are taking time to contend with. And it sucks, it's tough. The feminine is dealing with the King of Swords. And the masculine, the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords to me feels like realization. This Seven of Swords feels humbling, actually. It does. And this is somebody who has just realized what they're doing. This is somebody who's like realized, I know this is not how you read the Seven of Swords or whatever, but sue me. Don't. You can give me money though, I'll take that. I think you can appreciate this, but there's this, if you're identified as the masculine, or if you can sort of identify this in the masculine, the Seven of Swords, it's funny because it also came up in the other pile. Spoiler, it came up. That's why I kind of said it so. That's why I said it so. Sorry about that. That's why I said it the way I said it, because it came up before in the other pile, and yeah. I'm constantly getting interruptions. I feel like, look, maybe the masculine, yeah, I think there's a lot of realizations happening. I've got so many interruptions, and I was not expecting that. But anyway, I digress. The Seven of Swords here speaks to me of realizations, of, oh my goodness, what have I done? What am I doing? Catching yourself in the act and seeing that, oh wow, I have been like robbing from my own camp. I have been the one who is bringing this down. It's this reminds me of my dad says this thing. He says the enemy within. I love him so much. I love my father, you guys. He talks about the enemy within. How if you're in a company, right, and you steal from your company, you are the enemy within. You are leading to the downfall of that company because you're doing things to hurt that company, right? Whatever stealing is or whatever that looks like, you are infecting the company. you are doing something to hurt the company. It's essentially biting the hand that feeds you. Now, the enemy within here is the self, right? It's the self. The Seven of Swords, this person is realizing that they're carrying swords that are hurting them and looking back at the damage that they've done to their situation. And like, you can't, there is a moment here of looking at, oh shit, actually I've done this. Me not speaking up, me trying to be manipulative and sly in what I say. I'm not saying this is masculine, but using the Seven of Swords energy of cunning and wit. Me trying to be sassy and whatever. It didn't get me where I wanted to go. It took me, it was hurting me. It was hurting me. With this King of Swords here, the feminine is, oh, you know, is realizing similar. And really, I feel like the feminine is trying to do the work. Same maybe with this guy here. It's just this guy is on the side of this tower, this moment of, oh my god, I've been doing this. And this side, it's this, I'm tired. Like, I want to get out of what I've created for myself here. Like, what I can get out, I can move, I can get out of this, whatever this is. And with this King of Swords, the feminine is really facing that, is taking the truth to the head. The sword is going through a skull, baby. That's a huge realization. It's the truth. It's just, you can't avoid it. Swords everywhere. Swords everywhere. Let's move on. Why is this like this? Why is this connection like this? Why is this like this? The Magician. The Five of Swords. The Three of Wands. Waiting. Looking to see what someone else is gonna do. And then acting from there. Not taking a move. Calculation. What? What is happening? What is this reading right now? Who is this for? Calculation. The Three of Wands. I've never read the Three of Wands as calculation, but it feels like someone who's biding their time, waiting to see what someone else is going to do, and then attack, and then do it, and then do the thing. Right? This is like, well, I'm going to see what they're going to say, and then I'm going to respond. It's about one-upping. It's not about, let's have this moment be the moment. It's about, well, you, and then, well, you. And then it's like, oh my god, that didn't do anything. Like this. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know what dynamic this is. What? Okay. We have the Magician. We have the Five of Swords. That's probably where I'm getting that one-upping. This petty behavior. This self-protective behavior that we don't realize is actually hurting us and the things that we want to manifest. That's why it's like this. You're fighting each other or fighting your own self, and it hurts yourself. There's so many swords. Using each other to hurt each other. What the fuck is this? Wait, bro, what happened? What's going on? Tell me what's happening here. There's a lot of thoughts. I mean, I could take this as thoughts as well. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of thinking. But it feels like actions. It feels like a layer of communication that's happening underneath. I'm gonna use a different deck. This is wild. Yeah. Okay, babies. Why is this happening? Can you clarify why this is happening here? You know. And then I am gonna ask, you know, what the feminine role was and what the masculine's role was and why this is happening. Temperance in reverse. And the moon. Oh. Things unsaid. Things unbalanced. Things said under guise. Things said as a result of like what you thought. What someone thought things were as opposed to what they really were. Someone overthinking. Taking what someone says in the process of like your mental processing of beliefs, etc. And acting from that place as though it's fact and true. Temperance is not seeing eye to eye, not understanding, not the King of Cups. Cups is there's no cups in this reading. It's so heady, imbalanced. What's the feminine's role in this? What did the feminine contribute to the way things are like this? Thank you. And what did the masculine contribute? I'm gonna give you one more. Yeah, thank you. The feminine contributed in the bottom of the deck. We have a Ten of Pentacles. There was some level of stability here. That was just what the feminine contributed here was the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Swords, and the King of Cups in reverse. Okay, we have a cup. Okay, we'll just deal with this. No. What the King of Cups, what the masculine, divine masculine contributed was the Four of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. We have cups. The King of Cups does not overgive. So the feminine energy did not overgive necessarily, but they gave with condition. And that's normal. I think that's human. I mean, what the fuck? But they gave with the feminine gave with condition, in that if I do this, you should love me. If I do this, we should unite. If I do this, we should you do this. If I do this, you do this. It's I'm trying to find a way to say it. Manipulation. I don't want to say manipulation, but controlling. Well, if I do this, then this will happen. In order to move things forward, I guess, in order to get to the outcome. Not with the temperance here, not seeing eye to eye, not seeing that another person as a human being exists in a connection. Wanting to get to the good part of the Six of Swords, wanting to get out of crazy waters into the good stuff, and that beautiful cup king, sovereign of this energy, was abused. I think the divine feminine abused their desire for progress and moving things forward in a way. And that's the part that they may have played. Trying to control the situation. A little devious. Feeling confused about how things should go and maybe resorting to certain practices that led us to a place that we are. For the divine masculine, what they contributed to this was the Four of Wands, Knave of Page of Pages, Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups. The divine masculine wanting unity as well, wanting a home, wanting peace. I don't know why I'm getting wanting to be cared for. Wanting to be cared for. It's really a good match because this King of Cups, this wanting to move forward, taking charge and moving things forward, while this person wants to be cared for. They want the feminine to move them forward. They want the feminine to guide the path. And almost overworking the feminine in a way. But why is that a problem then? Why did this? I mean, maybe this is just a realization then. Because it looks like what the feminine was doing was in line with what the masculine wanted to do. To have the feminine lead. This is pages. Pages have dreams, pages have wishes, pages are babies. Pages are children, pages are potential, pages are, out here trying to find a place to build of their own. And they want home. It's just, okay. I don't see what the problem is here. How like, this looks like, okay, this looks like it makes sense. What's the problem? Because it looks like you two fed each other what the other wanted, that you both fit and catered to each other here. So what's the problem here? Why was this detrimental? Or why was this, what led us to this space? What about this between them? The Queen of Cups, yep, Mom, and the Five of Swords. I guess rebellion. I want home, but then I also rebel against my home. No, you're going to listen to me. We're going to do this. We're going to move forward. We're going to do this together. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but I want to do this and I want to do that. Some type of rebellion here. All the cups are now coming out. We have the family here. The king, the queen, and the page. Oh, the knight's not here, but... yeah. The Five of Swords came out again. And why is this like this? This tit for tat. Okay, tell me about this Five of Swords. What does this mean? Tell me more about this and the energy between them. Queen of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. We have the Eight of Swords here. Someone didn't want to be like this. Like, I want to say that, like, someone didn't want to be like this. They didn't want it to be like this. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles is mom. Moon is moon mother. Queen of Cups, someone didn't want to be a mom, or someone didn't want a mom, but people were playing those roles. Someone did not want to be a mom, but was acting like a mom. Someone didn't want to be mothered, but was acting like they wanted to be mothered. And so they're just like push force between the two of you that worked, but worked, I don't know, in a way that like wasn't right, because it, even though it fit, there was a shadow to it, or that was the shadow, there was a light to it that said, nah, this isn't gelling. Because I'm looking at somebody who was mothering and somebody who wanted to be mothered. But two people that did not want to be mothered and also didn't want to be a mother, to do things by themselves or whatever. We have just a lot of like mother here. Anyway, let's look at what's next. Okay. You tell me whose story this is. I don't get it. I don't get it. You'll have to like let me know. What's next? What's next in this dynamic? Parented. Maybe I shouldn't say mothered, but parented. You know, because the divine feminine could be someone with not female parts. And the masculine could definitely be someone without masculine parts, like body parts or anything like that. It's energies. I know I'm very, like, I'm a very masculine person. I'm a Libra. It's cardinal air. Like, it's very feminine, but also, bitch, Libra gets shit done, baby. Libra creates worlds, baby. Why is this like this? Wait, what? No, excuse me. What happens next? This is what we want to know. I'm using a different deck. What happens next here? In this dynamic, what happens next, Spirit? Thank you. There's a song in my head. Oh, that's a lot of cards. There's a song in my head that's not coming. Oh, fuck. That's not like coming to my mouth. It's like into my frontal lobe. Okay, these are the cards that fell. They were in the upright, in the reverse actually, but I put them like this and I picked them up, so. I don't know the lyrics. It's from this game I've been playing lately, Baldur's Gate 3. I love that game. Okay. What happens next? 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is back. Was it in this pile? I forgot. Yeah, it was. 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords. Knight of Wands in reverse. 2 of Cups in reverse. King of Pentacles upright. 3 of Swords. These came up in the previous readings. Previous sections. Right? Yeah, it did. I think. What happens next is a working on yourself for both of you. Like, concretely. This is good. And let me just check something. I need to understand what I'm looking at. Before I continue, it's gonna bug me. I know I would get there, but I want a shortcut. Spirit's like, no. Do the work. I don't want to. Oh, it's you, right? That's you guys. That's you guys. You gotta do the work, but you don't want to. You gotta look at your part in your dynamics, the parts that you play in your relationships or in this relationship, and see what parts of you have helped get this thing to the point that it is, or what parts of you, like, what do you believe about relationship? What do you believe about this particular dynamic with this person? What do you believe? Like, just really taking a look, an inventory, or just really interviewing yourself over what you believe about this dynamic, about this person, about yourself in this thing. Exactly. 9 of Cups. What makes you happy in a relationship? Like, something I've been thinking about lately is this, how I want to be in a partnership with somebody who feeds me. Okay, I've had to get really self-aware myself about the kind of relationship that I want. And I've had to just get really, really real and naked with myself in the parts where I want certain parts of the relationship to be like self-centered. I want someone who's going to put me first, second, and third in certain parts of our dynamics because that's what I need. At least that's where I'm at right now. And that's the type of person that, like, if someone can't do that, that has to be a deal breaker for me. Um, if if they cannot provide this thing that I want and that I need, I have to be able to say, man, you're so hot, you're so beautiful, I'm really attracted to you, but like that won't work for me because I just at this point know that it won't work for me. And that sucks. That sucks. But I've had to get to a point myself where I have to go, okay, this is what I know I need, and it's just a joke for me to continue lying to myself about this. How does this relate to a twin flame relationship? This relates to the fact that when you face your own desires, when you work on yourself, you are working on the dynamic. And I know we all hear this, but this isn't about you making yourself wrong or whatever. This is about you like stepping boldly into the shit that you want for yourself. Because then that allows this divine union or the divine relationship and partnership that is for you to come into fruition, to manifest itself. So for me, I have to be with a giver. I have to be with a man who's going to give to me. That's what it has to be. I can't be with a man who's going to come to take because I'm such a giver. I will be hungry and thinking that my feelings for him are feeding me, but really they're not. And I'll be depleted. So this right here is telling me that what's next between you two is doing that very hard work of telling yourself and facing yourself about the things that you actually want in a relationship and how this dynamic has not shown them to you, has shown you the opposite of what you want, and now you get to step into and I don't want to say fix, but attend to the parts of you that believe that this is what you can get and this is what you are worth, because that's going to help cut the snippiness. That's going to help cut all that overthinking. That's going to help, I don't want to say trust, but that's going to help when you're facing them or someone, you to believe them or not, because you'll have that in you. This Eight of Pentacles is carving into your own tree, is carving into yourself in order to heal the dynamic. It's self-focus. I'm so happy the Nine of Cups came out. It's self-pleasure. In order to attend to, for the both of you. Three of Wands, Knight of Wands in reverse. Oof. This is self-work, my guys. This is self-work. That's really it. It's you watching, you keeping tabs on yourself in a beautiful way where you do look and go, okay, but I have changed in this way. I have grown in this way. This is what I have put out into the world, and this is what's coming back to me. This is what I now want to put into the world. Like, I have done this before in different, it's like manifesting. Three of Wands here feels now like manifesting. It feels like you standing at your life's altar, you standing on your life's cliff edge and going, okay, this is a cliff. I'm looking at a chasm of either water, land, or just empty blackness, or a field of potential below me. What do I want to see moving forward? And like you doing what you need to do to get that. And sometimes it's painful. I don't know. Like for me, waking up to the fact that I want to be selfish and giving myself permission to be served. The fuck? It's not even selfish, but whatever. Was really painful for me. Am I a bad person for wanting someone to make me first, second, and third? Am I bad for wanting that? And that's where this pain is with this Three of Swords. It's a painful, it's painful realizations about yourself and what you want and how you're not getting it and how you can help give that to yourself in order for it to manifest in your world, for the both of you. for the both of you. This is an inner, adventurous, passionate journey. It's an adventure into yourself, into self, into that pain, into that wound, into those wounds, and using those to gain stability. Look at this motherfucker. Let's talk about this for a hot second. These two, this is Two of Cups in reverse. Wah, wah. Like, it's sad. It's tough. Two of Cups in the reverse is what's happening next, right? Three of Swords. Oh my god, this is just really, really terrible. This is not fun to look at. However, look at this happy ass motherfucker. Look at that fucking smiley ass face. And for those of you who are ready to receive this message, this is you. You understand. Like, if you pick this pile and you're still watching, that stuff that happened where the connection is at has brought you to this moment where you are regaining that King of Pentacles is now in the upright, and you are seeking stability for your kingdom. Your kingdom. Your kingdom. Your kingdom. And you know who the King of Pentacles would join into union with? Someone whose kingdom is also stable. Because they've worked so hard to build a stable kingdom that they'll be damned to have something fuck up a stable kingdom. And here the thing is, like, stability is going to be different for everybody. There are certain things that this King of Pentacles can accept that are totally fine when it comes to merging a future kingdom with them, with theirs. It's about knowing that self and knowing what you can and cannot do and what you want and do not want, and really like dying to that and surrendering to being like, this is just what's real for me. And that's what's next in the connection. Let's look at advice. Advice for the feminine, I guess, to bring this into union, or whatever is the highest good for the feminine, please, and for the masculine. For the feminine, Temperance, yes, and the masculine, amazing. Temperance, I love that, because now the Temperance is in the upright, right? The feminine has done this work of rebalancing and recalibrating themselves in order to see this balance being done. This is great. I love that for the feminine. So for the feminine with the Temperance here, it's recalibration on a greater scale. Okay, it's recalibration on a greater scale. On the inside, I want to check something. I want extra guidance here. Balance, moderation, patience, self-control, and self-mastery. Really, with that Eight of Pentacles, I'll say. Keeping a level head. This is King of Pentacles. Acting on your dreams and being patient. This is that message, everything I said before. Definitely the Divine Feminine is getting it. This Three of Wands is what's happening next. This Feminine is doing that. This, like, what do I want to create? How do I want to create that? Who do I need to step into? Who do I need to be in order to create what I want? I'm so proud of the feminine in this. The masculine, their advice for union or their highest good, and the highest good of all, is the Star in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse. This is about not looking outside for the masculine. This is, I don't remember what cards even came out for the masculine. This is great. This is about looking on the inside. This is about truly, with the Six of Cups in reverse, it is a who do I need to walk away from? What? Wow. Isn't the Six of Cups like the child card? It's about maturity. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Ooh, I'm having a me and spirit moment, okay? There's so many thoughts running through my head. I don't want to miss any of them. I want to tell you everything. Okay. Six of Cups of children. Let's remember that. There's this thing of thinking that other people know better. Other people know better the path for me. Other people know what I want and they'll give me what I want. The masculine's advice, the masculine's guidance is to wake up and the masculine's guidance is so beautiful. Like, you, as the masculine, you are the star. As the masculine, you are the star. No one else has the path. No one else has the path like, trust yourself more. Trusting yourself more is the masculine. The masculine needs to trust themselves more, and build that trust within, build that sense of self and mastery within themselves. With the Six of Cups in reverse, this is stepping into, it's this thing, there's this quote, I don't remember where it's from, like throwing away childhood things or something. And it's not necessarily abandonment, because this is something I'm currently dealing with, but it's putting away childish things in order for you to step into this new phase. You know, the Wheel of Fortune talks about the energies of, like, the maiden, the something, and the crone. And it's this journey of the masculine from being a cub and a pup to like a lion, I don't know. From a page to a knight, and that leveling up from the knight to a queen, and that leveling up from a queen to a king. The masculine is growing up. I think for the feminine, it's even acknowledging that within themselves, that they need to take care of their inner child and mother themselves, etc. Here it's about stepping up and stepping into that energy of knowing that they are, if the masculine, able to be a ward over themselves. This is about maturity and seeing themselves as capable to journey through life. Three of Wands, to create what they need to create, to take that inner journey within in order to step up for themselves. And it's tough to think when you've been, this is tough. The Three of Swords is so tough in that when you realize that you've been, I don't want to say you've been a child, but that you're still in this child space, like you still feel small, but you don't want to abandon that. But it's like when you grow up, then you can take better care of that part of you. You can step into the adult, as opposed to looking for adults in your life to guide you because you don't trust yourself. A child is not ready for a relationship, but a divine masculine, a child is neither masculine nor feminine, like that's a baby. But to step into that masculine energy, they need to be able to be a ward over their child and mature into a new phase. Okay, so that's really great for the both of you. I mean, the story was cohesive. I don't know who the fuck it was for. But yeah, to step into this King of Pentacles, you know? And it looks like once they do, once the masculine does, if you are the masculine, you might skip this night of want. Like, you're going on an adventure into yourself, and that's so fun. And there's going to be a sense of stability if you are the masculine in this situation. This is great. All is well that ends well. I wish you everything. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Keep your light on. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.